it's like, hey Atlas, and in my humble opinion, and as I always say, the only thing more important than knowing what to do is knowing what not to do. So before all you visual artists and Pokemon trainers get started on your long and arduous journeys in the world of commissions, here are my top 3 tips on moves you should always avoid. I've always hammered away on the idea of getting your time's worth of money, and it's still a very important thing. But there's a difference between a fair wage and overcharging, especially when you're new to the world of freelancing. And there's a very specific move that you'll probably want to make that I will definitely advise against. Here's the scenario. You've been pitching and advertising for a long while with no takers. Then out of the blue you get a call back. Prospects of you getting the job are looking up, and then it gets time to talk pricing. Again, it's been a drought, and you're excited at the prospect of getting work. Big job, big money, right? And of course you remember all the bills you have and Amazon wishlist items that you want to buy. Then what do? You end up throwing out a price for a simple job that makes absolutely no sense. It's just too high. You never do get an email reply from the guy after that. So what happened? Basically you scared him away. The thing you have to remember, especially when starting out, is that the people that you're pitching to on the internet 9 out of 10 times are regular people like you who have a good idea and some cash to spend on it. Of course it's possible to make a couple thousand off a single job. Don't expect to make $1 million off the pages of a novel writer's first graphic novel attempt when he's got a wife and some kids and no more internet notoriety than you. My advice is shoot for the long game. Secure a couple of jobs a month at fair rates to you and your clients that will fill or exceed the gaps in your monthly cash quota. Of course, if you happen to hit that 1 out of 10 client, which will probably be some kind of company, you're free to charge them like a company. But don't put it all on the little guy on your first trial run. I might have mentioned this one before in another video, but it applies to this. It's your first time trying to sell your skills, so you're selling what you know, not what you're trying to figure out. Every now and then, well, in the future I should add, you'll get the chance to experiment and toss something super unique into your pieces. But for the most part, you want to play it safe. The clients came to you for a reason, so what you give them better meet what they expect. If they show up asking for a Michelangelo, don't hand them a Picasso. Of course, they're both good. That's not the point. They're paying for the Michelangelo. You only had one job. If you want to experiment, keep a sketchbook on you and fill it up with your ideas. But when it's time to work, it's all about your expertise, not your theories. Here's the thing I've heard a lot over the years working with every other client. If they have any commission experience before, chances are high they've worked with an artist who takes the description, takes the money, disappears, then returns with the finished art. If they return at all. Are you a hitman for hire? Business is all about communication. While you don't have to get every detail about your client before the wedding, it's at least important to establish a sense of trust and a friendly work relationship. It doesn't have to be full wine and dine, although it can be, like my brother tends to do. But take time between all your works in progress to update the client on the progress of their piece. Ask them for suggestions, get their feedback. Give and get some opinions. Crack some jokes, do something. But do not just hit and run. A lot of my clients are repeat customers from 2 to 5 years ago. And that's huge, because it means among all the other artists they've commissioned, I'm the go-to guy. Whenever they have an idea that they need executed, they know I'm reliable for whatever reason. And that means guaranteed income from me. That comes from equal parts quality of work and from depth of relationship. Basically, try to be a brand that people trust, in the same way that you probably have brands that you trust. And a big part of that is communication. That about wraps it up for this week's video. If you like the video, definitely make sure you comment, like, subscribe, and share. And make sure you share this video to all the sites that you are on. They'll leave some good comments. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. The link will be right there in red. It says subscribe. Click the notification bell that appears next to it once you subscribe. The goal for this year is to hit 10,000 subscribers. We're already a little bit at 2,000 something, so I really appreciate everybody who has supported my channel. And if you guys like the video, yeah, definitely leave me some comments, and definitely leave some ideas for new videos. And also, I want to hear back from you guys on this topic. What are some things for beginners that you would advise against? What are some things that you did that in retrospect you kind of regret it? And there are some moves, there's some emails, some things you say, some things you shouldn't say. And I think I've pretty much run the gamut and the whole spectrum of what those are. But I definitely want to hear from you guys and see what kind of experiences you've had. Maybe you guys have been a lot more lucky. Maybe you guys have been a little less fortunate. So definitely leave your comments and let's get a discussion going. Hopefully you guys took something from this video. Like I said at the beginning, I think it's a lot more important knowing what not to do sometimes in life in general than knowing what to do. Because if you can save yourself a lot of trouble, you can save yourself a lot of time. Let's get a discussion going. Hopefully you guys have some great tips from me, and hopefully I gave you some great tips as well. Leave a comment, let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Later.
Selam. Seperti biasanya, artis Shazrath. Sekarang sepanjang ketika dengan membawa di bagian apa karena sudah